Hi YouTube, this is Isaac back at you with a post-Christmas, post-New Year's 2010 video. Video today, I'm going to try and go through things a little bit quickly. It's about beginning chromatic harmonica if you're a diatonic player. And this is not from the perspective of somebody who knows anything about this, because I just started. I asked for a really cheap chromatic harmonica for Christmas, and Santa was nice enough to bring me one. Did a little research on it, so I think I'll start off by talking about the particular harp I got, which is a Hohner Educator 10. Costs $35, which is amazingly cheap considering that most beginning level chromatics or standard level chromatics are in the 100 plus, 150, 180, and then some of them will go $2, $3, even $1,000. This harmonica is made in China, and I was a little leery about buying a cheap chromatic, you know, having read reviews. There are some out there that get bad reviews, but this one actually got pretty good reviews, doing my homework on the internet. And so I put it on my Christmas list, figure, you know, $35, somebody will buy it, I'll find some enjoyment for it, and it's probably going to be worth that amount of money. And when I got it for Christmas, I was actually blown away. It's, you know, having not had any experience with other chromatics, I can't speak to the quality of it compared to those more expensive models, but having lots of experience with diatonic harmonicas, I was really quite impressed with a $35 Chinese-made Hohner chromatic harmonica. I think I said the Educator 10 is what it's called, and it says by Harmonica, strangely, on there. Comes in a little blister pack, you know, and it has a little zip case, which is actually a really nice case to carry it around. I wish the blues harps came in that kind of a case. It's sort of pretty good quality harp, actually. So let me talk about some of the features about it that I like and don't like, and while I do that, I'll probably mention features about chromatic, and I'll mention them from a diatonic player's perspective. So the first thing to note, this particular harmonica has 10 holes, just like a 10-hole harp, but it's bigger because each hole has to have a set of 8 total reeds, 2 blow and 2 draw reeds. And basically what it is that when you blow through and draw through them naturally with the slide out, you get all the standard major scale notes. If you push the slide in, you get the sharped notes. So if I'm blowing on hole 1, that's a C. When I blow on hole 1 with the slide in, C sharp. Same thing with the draw, D. Slide in, D sharp. Okay, so what that lets you do is actually get every single note out there, all the sharps and flats in between all the whole notes. How are the notes laid out on this? Well, they're set out basically exactly the same way as holes 4 through 7 are on a standard diatonic harp. So that means that if you know how to play a C major scale on a diatonic harp, well, you just have to play it the same way. And the switch and breathing pattern is at the same place you're used to. And then when you move up to the next octave, it's the same thing again. So there's 2 octaves and then 2 extra notes at the top, which is basically the lower half of a 3rd octave. So if I was to play a C scale all the way up the harp, you can do it. And additionally, if you want to play minor scales, I'm not good at that yet, you'd put in the appropriate sharp or flat where it's supposed to go in the scale just by pushing the button in. What this also means is that you can play blues on this harp extremely easily. If you know how to play blues in 3rd position, that's starting at 4-hole draw, you play exactly the same way on this harp. One of the good things about this particular harp, and one of the reasons probably why it's so cheap, is that it's what they call a valveless chromatic harmonica. Normally, chromatic harmonicas, because of the way they're set up with so many reeds, they tend to be a bit airy. And so to combat this, they put valves, which are little flaps of plastic or other material that go on the other side of the reed plate from where the reed is sitting. And basically what happens is that they sort of close down when your air direction changes in the direction opposite from what is supposed to make the reed activate. And it just sort of locks air from being lost out the hole that you're not currently playing, or the reed that you're not currently playing in that hole. The downside of this is that it makes the blow and draw reeds totally separate from each other, meaning you can't bend or overblow like you would or you can on diatonic harmonicas, because those actually require both reeds working. You can actually bend one of the reeds a little bit, it's a totally different thing. But this particular harmonica is valveless, which means that you can actually bend it just like you can a normal diatonic harp. So for example, if I was to play a third position blues scale, I'd be bending the sixth draw to get one of the major notes. And here, I can actually do the same thing. It's when translated to the layout of notes, it's the third hole, and you can bend it. So. But you can also get that note by pushing the button in on the 3 blow. So you can play it this way. Which is pretty cool. Now, how do I like this harp? I was actually amazed when I picked it up. It's actually very airtight. I was expecting it to be really breathy and I have to really blow hard. Definitely takes more air than a standard blues diatonic harp, especially one that you've worked on yourself, which all my harps are. But the quality, I think, is really good. The mouthpiece is really quite comfortable. The cover plates are great. They're kind of like a mixture between Special 20 and Marine Band cover plates. They got a little tab. I'll probably bend that in at one point. They don't have any side vents, but that's fine. They have little support posts inside, so it's really quite crush proof. The slide itself is a bit stiff, I guess, from what I've read, but I personally like that. You have to really kind of commit to your note, and it springs back out real fast, which lets you have real quick slide action. I guess it's fast, not quick, or quick, not fast, something like that. The gapping is pretty good, and the tuning seems pretty good. The only problems I have, and you probably heard me mess up a little bit playing down low here, is that the 3 blow, which would translate to the 6 blow on a standard Richter, it's gapped too low, so I actually choke the note when I blow it, even with fairly light breath pressure. And then also the 10 draw is a little bit airy. And I think the rest of them are pretty consistent. You know, I may tweak them a little bit when I take it apart. I have taken this apart. Basically, the mouthpiece consists of, the slide assembly consists of the mouthpiece and the slide. The spring is set into the comb, which is a plastic comb. Each individual reed actually has its own slot in there, and it's set up in what they call a cross layout, so that on most chromatic harmonicas, for example, the upper reed plate will be all your naturals and the lower reed plate will be all your sharps. So when you're pressing the slide, what you're doing is diverting air from the top reed plate to the bottom reed plate. On this one, all the sharps and flats or the naturals and their sharps are laid out next to each other, alternating blow and draw, so that when you press it, there's a little bit more travel to the slide. I mean, in terms of playability, I don't notice any hindrances because of that. Quality issues, it's screwed together. The screws themselves are pretty decent quality, and they're not the top quality you get like on an MS harp or a Seidel or something like that, but they're your standard Special 20 quality screws. The reed plates could be sanded a little bit, they're a little bit sharp over here, but other than that, it's pretty good. It's a little airy, like I said, but that's to be expected. It's actually much more airtight than I thought. So let me play you some stuff. Anyway, just got this a little bit ago. Thought I'd share my comments with you.